This video is for the shed locker assignment, and it's going to cover the roof and the exterior of the shed locker. Okay, so this is the roof portion, and if we look at it from the top point of view, it has a length of 4 foot 11 and a half and a width of 2 foot 11 and 3/16. Now, in this video, I give you the placement measurements. These two lines I do not expect you to put in. I've done it only for the purpose of demonstrating the dimensions. Okay. Now this does have a thickness of, I will add this for you, 5/8. Okay. So this board is 5/8 thick, 4 and 11 inches and a half by 2 foot 11 and 3/16. Okay. So if we just do this really quick, you should be able to see the length and the width clearly. Okay, and you can add whatever texture you want in terms of roofing. Okay. Now I'm going to suggest that you do this roof separately, make it a component, and then place it onto the shed locker. You do not have to do that. I'm just suggesting you do. If you end up with the same end result, that's great. So here's the shed locker as we have it now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the roof right here, and I'm going to make it a component, and we're going to put it on the roof. So once again, it's got a length of 4 foot 11 and a half. So let's go over here. Let's draw a line. 4 foot 11 and 1/2 inches. Okay. And let's look at the width is 2 foot 11 and 3/16. So let's go right here. See the green? That coincides with the green line over there, which shows the y-axis. And it's going to be, once again, 2 foot 11 and 3/16. Okay, so I'm going to type in 2 feet 11 space 3/16 inches. Okay. Now let's use the rectangle option to close that off. Now I said over here, this has got a thickness of 5/8. So let's make that 5/8 thick. Like so. Do whatever you want to do. 5/8 inches. That's the thickness. Okay. Now if you want, you can add the texture now. Let's add some texture. Go over here. We're going to pick roofing. You can add whatever you want. If you want, you can leave this trim white. That's okay. Close that up. Okay. Now we're going to have to make this into a component, and I made it kind of clear of all my stuff, so it makes it just a little easier to make that window. Make components, okay. Now we made this flat on the ground. Now obviously it's not flat over here. So we're going to have to rotate this, tilt it, whatever. Now we have to know how much to rotate it or tilt it. So I'm going to grab this protractor. So once again, I clicked on the measuring tape icon. I'm going to scroll down to here, and I'm going to grab my protractor. So I'm going to go over here. I would like to zoom in. I'm going to click on this intersection. Now just be careful. This thing's going to kind of move around on you. But you want to get this thing so it's like this. Oops, let's get it. I have to zoom out and zoom back in. Okay. You might have to change your perspective, and that's okay. Like so. So let's go like that. Now we clicked on that intersection. That's really important. Now I'm going to bring that out straight. Once again, that green line, at least the way that I've done it, I could scroll out and we can see in the background that this green line here, that's straight. So that means I'm going to look for the green line. I'm going to click and I'm going to go up there. Now that pink line basically is SketchUp snapping on the line. So if you look at the bottom right hand corner, you're going to see angle 5.8. So that's the angle I want to rotate my wood. So let's go over to the wood and let's grab this option here. We're going to rotate that. Now hopefully it's going to let us do the same thing. Click, ride that line. We're going to move that. I'm going to type in 5.8. Okay. There we go. So now it's tilted in the exact same orientation as the roof. Now I want to go back here. And I want to look at these measurements. And this is going to be really important as far as placing it on the roof. That's 3 inches in from this corner and 1 inch in from that corner. Okay. So I'm going to duplicate that on my roof. So let's go over here. I made that into a component, so keep in mind, any changes you do to a component has to be done in edit component mode. So let's do that. I'm going to get out my measuring tape, which is here. I'm going to move over 3 inches here, type in 3 quotation marks. And I'm going to move over 1 inch here, 1 quotation mark. And I'm going to, for this one, I'm going to use my rectangle option. Click and click. Now this intersection right here, this corner, that's going to be my alignment, okay? And that's what I'm going to actually try and use. I'm going to grab my move option. There's a newer version of this model in your account. Do you want to overwrite this in your current changes? No. Okay. That only exists for me because I've already made this before. So let's grab it by here. And let's move it on over. See if it lets me. I might have to change the orientation, which is not unusual. Let's pick it up from here, click, get it up over top of our image. Okay. Just go like so. And let's see if we can go over here and grab that corner and make it line up to that. And that's exactly what I would like to do. If you do that, you are now lined up. And this should look like this. Okay. Now that's the roof. Once that's done, you're good to go. Now the other portion of this assignment is going to be exterior plywood. So I'm going to activate that tag. And you don't have to use tags, so please don't get the impression that because I have it, you have to. Boom. So we now have the exterior plywood. So we're going to look at the plywood here really quick. And basically the dimension for this in terms of thickness is going to be, let's look, click, click. Let's move it over so you can see it. So this is going to be 1/2 inch thick plywood. Now there's a few ways you can do this. You can make it outside or off of the image, and you can put it on as a component, or you can just draw it right on. So for this one, I'm going to draw it right on. So we're going to basically go all the way down to the bottom and all the way to the top. Over here, that's going to require an angle, and that's okay. So let's do that. Okay. So we're going to use this line here as a guide. I'm going to start in the front. Now because these are all components, it's important that you got to draw lines, because all these are in the component mode. So if we draw, we're drawing outside of component mode at the moment. If you do that, it can't see those lines. So let's go all the way to the top. Blue signifies straight. And we're going to go from here over. And let's go down. Just like so. Click. And we'll even go over here to here. And let's see if it's going to let us pull it out. Okay, so it's going to let us, for the most part, pull it out. Now you can either type in 1/2 or 0.5 inches. It's up to you. Now keep in mind, I would like to see this cover the entire portion, and this one did not allow us to do that. So we're going to kind of cheat, and we're going to pull that down, just like so. Little lines like that, don't worry about. Okay? So we've got our exterior cover there. Let's see. Now, if it kind of caused some issues, like something like this, once again, you can always go over, go in here. Let's grab our push-pull option and pull that up, just like so. So now it's nice. Okay. So I'm not going to do the entire thing for you, but I'm going to basically do this corner and this corner, and the rest is going to be, for the most part, self-explanatory. So let's do this first angle. And I'm going to go from, let's say, you don't see it now, but later on you will. If I activate the tags option here, I can show you there's going to be exterior trim, like so. So we don't have to worry too much about making the corners clean. Okay, so for that reasoning, I'm just going to start right here. Go click, straight up, go to this corner here, and I'm going to go right down to the bottom, which is there, and I'm going to click over here as well to there, and let's go back up to where we started, which is, oh, once in a while I get that warning, that's okay. And we're going to go back up to here. Now let's see if it allows us to pull this out. Hopefully it does. And we're going to pull that out. 1/2 inches. Okay. Now, like I said before, I showed you that trim. So if you get something a little odd like that, you can either push it in if you like, or you can completely disregard it because you're going to end up with this stuff here. And that's going to cover it, okay? And that'll be the next assignment, okay? So for the remainder of the exterior, you're going to put that covering on. For this particular assignment, we are not going to cover the doors, okay? So we're going to cover this panel, the back, the side, and that panel as well. I would even say leave the top of the doors, okay? Once you're done that, you can add texture in terms of paint. The color is up to you. So that concludes this assignment for the shed locker, the roof, and the exterior covering.